Hey everyone, it's Dale from IGN here, and today I'm joined by Graham Goring, who is the lead story designer on LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Hello there.
So today we're going to go through the new trailer and we're going to talk about some of the new adventures. And as you can see, first up, we see a Wampa.
Yeah, we got a Wampa in the game. Because, you know, what's more Star Wars than a Wampa? Well, you know, there's loads of things. But yeah, we got a Wampa in the game. This is actually a level called Poe to the Rescue, based on the LEGO short, which you can watch on YouTube, called The Resistance Rises, Poe to the Rescue, where you're rescuing Akbar. And in doing so, C-3PO accidentally releases a whole bunch of aliens and creatures from their cells, which then go rampaging through the corridors of the finalizer. And so we see that character pop up in this level a couple of times, actually, and indeed you actually use him to solve a puzzle at one point.
He does look a little bit out of his normal element.
He does. I think he's fine. I mean, he doesn't look terribly happy in that particular where you've frozen the video, I'll be honest, but I'm sure he's having a whale of a time. Look, he's beating up stormtroopers.
All new stories.
Don't worry, boss. I got us the best Raptor hunters in the system.
Here's a look at a new adventure. It's featuring Han and Chewie, and it seems like they're hunting Raftars.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you meet the Raftars in the movie, and they're these vile squid-like creatures that cause a lot of trouble, and they cause a lot of trouble in this level as well. So, yeah, this is based on a planet called Tuan Keti, I think it is, where there's a group of these Raftars, and you and a crew, which get picked off one by one, go traipsing through these murky caves. It's a really cool looking level as well. It's kind of misty. It's got this sort of neon infused glow. It's a really attractive level, and eventually meet up with some other people who are also after the Rathars, and a fracas ensues.
And what was the process of coming up with this story?
Well, with this one and really all of these new adventures, we obviously had questions that we wanted to know the answers to with the movie. And LucasArts, obviously know what these bits of backstory are, and they were happy for us to sort of explore those bits of story. So they would give us the details of what happened in these all of these stories sort of lead up to the movie, and we would then send them a design document. It will get sort of iterated back and forth, and eventually would come up with a level, and then I would be dropped in to write some silly jokes for all the characters to say.
Here's a glimpse of a character that appeared very briefly in Maz's palace. So I assume we find out more about him in this?
Yeah. I mean, you basically discover this is the Crimson Corsair or Red Raider. He's got another name as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. But Sidon Athano is his proper name. And he's got a crew, which is Quigold and Prue Suivant. And they're sort of freebooters, basically, pirates who are doing a job for a client to steal a ship for them, which then pops up in another one of these little new adventure levels. So you land on this first order installation and then blow up a lot of it in the process of stealing a ship.
So obviously he's a character that doesn't have much dialogue in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
So what was the process of expanding upon his character? Because from the film, all we know is that he's a pirate.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, obviously, if you've read the visual dictionary, there are kind of like bits of information about them, and so it's a case of using what information we have, and then saying, does this sound like the character a little bit? And again, it's this collaborative relationship that we have with LucasArts. But it was really cool because effectively, I get to put a voice to a character for the first time, and that's an amazing honour. And the great thing is that then they get voiced by the people who voiced them in the movie as well. That's kind of cool.
First Order's plans with the Crimson Corsair.
Come on, let's borrow us a ship. Good luck finding your pilot.
So here we see Lor San Tekka, who featured very briefly in the film, but I guess we're getting to find out more about him.
When you've got a character voiced by an actor like Max von Sydow, I'd love to spend more time with that character because he's a really cool sort of enigmatic character. So yeah, we have this level where you basically trek across Jakku to get to the meeting point with Poe Dameron, and you're accompanied by this person who he knows called Athgar Heese, who's from his past, and they basically have various puzzles and fighting encounters that they have to get past in order to get to the village and pass on the map.
And what was the process like coming up with his story? Was it again an iterative process with Lucas, or did you have more firm ideas going in?
No, again, they if you want to know something about Star Wars, then the wellspring is LucasArts. They have a very clear idea of what this galaxy is, and so they gave us all the details that we needed in order to come up with a level design, which again we iterated back and forth and then built the level. So yeah, no, I mean it's always it's top down because nobody knows Star Wars like Lucas knows Star Wars.
And here we see he's riding a speeder bike as well.
Everyone wants to ride a speeder bike. You see a speeder bike parked, I don't care who owns it, I'm getting on that thing.
It's Poe Dameron. I'm here to rescue you.
Here's a glimpse at another adventure featuring the one and only Admiral Akbar.
Oh, I love Admiral Akbar.
Now this scene's very similar to the prison escape scene from A New Hope. Obviously, The Force Awakens harken back to A New Hope quite a lot. Was that something you were keen to emulate in the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the reasons that The Force Awakens is the brilliant movie it is because it is really reminiscent of the original trilogy, and so we, absolutely did that as well. I mean, in this case, this is based off of Poe to the Rescue. Lucas had already sort of crafted the story for this level, and then we sort of made a playable version of it. So yeah, I think everyone knows what made Episode 7 so great, and so yeah, we sort of revisit those themes as well.
And who doesn't love squeezing in more Admiral Akbar?
It's a trap. I mean, who doesn't want to hear that again and again and again? And you will.
Is it better not be a trap? Discover hidden secrets.
We need the location of the Resistance base.
Unravel galactic mysteries. And play must-have stories for any Star Wars fan that you can't play anywhere else. Featuring all new dialogue from the Force Awakens cast.
It's about time you showed up.
Here's some brand new dialogue from Harrison Ford, which you've obviously recorded especially for the game.
Yeah, and not just Harrison Ford, everyone. I mean, Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, Anthony Daniels, Carrie Fisher, John Boyega, Oscar Isaacs, Gwendolyn Christie, Lupita Nyong'o, and Max von Sydow, he said, transparently reading from a list. It's been an incredible honour getting to work with these amazing actors to bring their characters to life one more time. I mean, if I went back in time and said, oh, by the way, at one point you're going to be working with Harrison Ford and writing dialogue for Han Solo, I would be, you are full of it. And yeah, it's insane.
Were the actors involved at all in the creation of new dialogue?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, obviously, whenever we do a recording session, they'd always try and make it sound like their character. So where I was a little bit off, they would contract some words or uncontract some other words. But for instance, Anthony Daniels, it was a much more sort of thorough process because nobody knows C-3PO like Anthony Daniels, and so I'd meet him before the actual recording sessions, and we'd go through the script line by line and make sure it sounded, as C-3PO-y as possible, which generally meant using sort of more flourishes in the language, longer words, and just making it a little bit more. I don't know. He's such a particular character. Getting to use the experience of Anthony Daniels to make him perfect is an utter honour.
Do you think all the actors are excited at the prospect of being in a Lego game?
Who isn't excited about being a little Lego dude? It's awesome. That's what I mean. When we went to the sessions, we'd take like a little poster, and they'd always take, they'd take the poster back with them, and we'd get a couple signed maybe as well. I'm not denying that.
Okay, so here's a list of all the new adventures. We've seen some featured in the trailer, but there's a couple in there I don't know anything about. So is there anything you can tell us?
Maybe. Well, I could probably mention that you don't always see things from the side of good in this game, which is very cool because it means spending some time with some really cool characters that are really great.
How do all these new adventures weave into the story mode?
Basically, every couple of levels, one of them will unlock. So, for instance, you'll unlock the Rathtar hunting level after you meet the Rathtars, because it wouldn't make sense to do it before. And so, you go up to a character, in that case, Han Solo, pay him a bunch of gold bricks, I believe, and it unlocks the level, so you can play it. So, you can play them as you play the game, or if you want, just save them all to the end and then blast through all these cool new adventures.
Awesome. When's the game out?
Comes out on June 28th, and it will be available on everything. I mean, everything, toasters included.
Okay, thanks for joining us, Graham. And for all things LEGO Star Wars, make sure you stick with IGN.